What is going on, everybody? My name is Mike Massey, also known as Mindful Mike. From the bottom, not only of my heart, but from the bottom of Perth County, the city of Stratford, for all you humans who are working in the early years, who are helping our beautiful children be the best version of them, thank you. Your job, even before the pandemic, I think a lot of the times is overlooked by the public, and it can be a thankless job. And now doing what you're already doing, and that, I know that from firsthand from working with many of you, that it can be a crazy rewarding job, but it can also be incredibly draining. And during COVID, of course, it's made it harder or more stressful, because not only are you dealing with the protocols that you have to do with work on the day-to-day, you're also going home and having to be a parent or a partner or a dog owner or a cat or a son or a daughter, worried about maybe your parents or aging parents, or worried about your friends. I promise you I get it, right? From someone who's been working with the pandemic and working with people who are stressed and burnt out, I have so much appreciation for what you do. And I thought hopefully that this short little video could plant some seeds on some things that could help you work and realize how much everyone does appreciate what you do, and then for you to work with any stress, worries, frustrations in a healthier way, right? As you know, you do not need to shave your head, and you do not need to move to a monastery to explore the benefits of mindfulness. You can do something as simple as what I call spotlighting. And you're like, what is that? Good question, everybody. Spotlighting is something that I came up with through the pandemic because I was working with people that didn't really want to sit and meditate for 20 or 30 or 40 minutes a day, but what they were open to do is 1 to 3 minutes of activities of stuff they were already doing. So a little backstory, our mind does an amazing job at dealing with what we know. It does an awful job dealing with the unknown. So the first thing I would love for you to do is the next time that you are caught in stress or worry or frustration or anger or shame, whatever it is, ask yourself, is it a thought, meaning it might, may, or could happen, or is it a fact, meaning it's happening now? I have found this has been transformative to me in COVID. Now, if you would ask me March 12th, hey Mike, did you do a good decision leaving social work behind and leaving addictions and to start your own business and teaching mindfulness? I would have said, yeah, an amazing job. I love my job. I love what I do. If you would ask me 10 days later, so March 22nd, 2020, I would have thought and said to you, I don't know, because I had to cancel 70 workshops. Oh no! 70 workshops in 10 days, which left me with a lot of fear and anxiety and worry as a father of two. And when I started to think about all of these things, I was caught in a thought. I was caught in like, oh my goodness, what happens if I can't pay my mortgage in 8 months? Or what happens, maybe I should go back to social work, or maybe I should have done this or done this differently. And I started like rehashing and rehearsing all of these different things. And then I said, whoa. Let's press the pause button here. And let's go, is this a thought or a fact? Well, the fact is I can still pay my mortgage. And the fact is I'm still probably gonna work and see people one-on-one in a different way. And it's a thought that I don't have a job still teaching mindfulness. And it's my worries, which is a thought that I might be homeless. That was the worst case scenario, that I can feed, pay my mortgage or feed the children. Those are all thoughts. But as I'm sure you're aware of, our brain is a great thought producing mechanism. The only problem is 80+% of the time, it holds them to the negative, like really tight. What something simple as going a thought or a fact, using the power of labeling, can really help diffuse some of that worries and stress and work with what's actually happening. So when I asked myself, the thought or a fact, it was the fact was I was worried. I can work with the emotion of worry. I can't work with what might happen 6 months from now because it hasn't happened. So something simple as labeling a thought or fact can help you discern what is actually happening versus what might, may, or could happen. So taking me back to the spotlight idea, what I thought hopefully would provide you with a little insight would be to take a couple moments whatever you're doing, if it's your drive to work, right? If it's something as simple as brushing your teeth, if it's something as simple as when you're in the shower, try being in the shower. When you're brushing your teeth, spend that moment actually brushing your teeth, not thinking about how hard work might be that day or what happened yesterday or worried about, Christmas coming up. Spend that time purposely paying attention to what you're actually doing. Here's something crazy. When you're watching a show and you're enjoying it, or you are with a loved one and you're enjoying their company, make them the spotlight, right? Shine your spotlight of awareness on them. When you're talking to them, be with them. When your mind goes off and thinks about work or what might happen, label that as a thought. We just talked about that. Come back to what's actually happening with that person, right? The benefit of mindfulness for me isn't that I love meditation. The benefit for me is I love being present with people I want to be present with. And that starts as something as simple as spotlighting a positive event. You wake up in the morning, write down 1, 2, or 3 things that you're grateful or thankful of. Start there. Start with writing down someone or something you're grateful for or thankful that's in your life. Start there, right? When you're brushing your teeth, bring your awareness to brushing your teeth. Train your brain to be here a little longer, so when your brain goes off, you come right back to what's actually present. Right, on your drive to work, you're noticing anxiety, or you're noticing frustration, you notice resistance. Talk to yourself like you talk to a friend. Quite often, we talk to ourselves in such a negative way. We wouldn't talk to our friends that way. I wouldn't talk to my sons that way, but I find that we can be really negative. And one thing that's really helped transform my personal practice in meditation and mindfulness isn't actually meditating longer. It's 1, spotlighting the positive that I already have going on in my life and making that a focal point. 2, saying I love myself or talking to myself in the way that I would talk to someone that I love. So if I had a really hard day, I don't say, well, Mike, who's had a hard day? The people down the street who lost their job, they have it way harder than you. Why are you complaining? I don't say that anymore. I say something to myself like, wow, this has been a hard day. It must have been really hard for me, and it was. Or it's okay that I'm sad, or it's okay that I'm frustrated. Learning to talk to yourself as if you're talking to someone you love can be a complete game changer. Complete. And if you're like, Mike, I don't know how to start. What should I do? Go to mindfulmike.ca. It's all free. Try the gratitude practice, right? Try the spotlighting practice. Try the practice of self-compassion. Start there. Don't get caught up in all the negatives. See, our mind loves to focus on the negative and loves to spin to things like what might happen, may happen, could happen, should have happened. Stop that train of thought. Come back to what's actually happening now, in the present moment. What is one thing that you can be grateful for in that day? What is one thing that interaction with a child or that interaction with a human that you felt, wow, this is really neat? How can you focus on that moment? Breathe it in. Let it touch your heart. Breathe it out. Right? Breathe it in again. Let it touch your heart. Breathe it out. Notice how that affects you. Right? When your mind gets inundated with the negative, which is a normal thing for your mind to do. There's nothing wrong with your mind having negative thoughts. The key is that you label them. Oh, that's a thought, not a fact. That's not happening right now. But Mike, what happens when I am worried, angry, frustrated, upset? Then we let it come into the door and say, hey, right now I'm noticing this worry, or I'm noticing this anxiety. Breathing in, I'm noticing this anxiety. Breathing out, I'm witnessing this anxiety. We train our brain to respond to stress. We train our brain to respond and talk to ourselves like we're talking to someone that we love. You are so much appreciated for what you all do. And at any time, if you ever have a question about your wellness, your mental health, about how can you use mindfulness, intertwine it into your day-to-day, how can you incorporate mindfulness for the benefit of you to be more present, to experience what's actually happening instead of being caught in what may or could happen. At any time, if you ever have a question, just direct message me either at mindfulmike.ca or at mindfulmasse, M-A-S-S-E. Okay, so again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you do. Never hesitate to reach out. I'm not going to send you a bill if you email me or text me and say, hey, what about this, Mike? How can this help? Or do you have any suggestions? Please continue to message me if you have any questions. Talk to you soon. Thanks again for all you do. Bye for now.